With the 61st pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select DJ Chark, wide receiver, LSU.
Lawrence off play action, steps up, takes a shot.
Hey, what's up, Jags Nation? It's Brett James back again with another video. And today, man, at the recording of this video, we are 6 days away from the NFL Draft. A new culture, a new regime is going to be brought to the city of Jacksonville. New life, new perspective, and a new hope for this Jacksonville Jaguars franchise and the fans to look forward to for the next decade of hopefully great success with a guy like Trevor Lawrence coming to the city of Jacksonville and now Urban Meyer stepping in as the head coach. We got a 7-round full mock draft here for you guys today, and if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe down below as well. If you guys want another great content creator here on YouTube for the Jacksonville Jaguars, go follow UCF Jaguar, man. You already know I'm repping the merch, man, so make sure you guys go give him a sub and make sure you guys go buy some of his merch, man. But let's stop wasting time, man. Let's hop right into this video though. Now, before I actually get into each individual draft selection, the Jacksonville Jaguars in this draft have 10 total draft picks as we stand. And I'm not going to be doing any mock trades or anything. I'm going to go in order from what we have from the top to the very end. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars last year in 2020 had 12 total draft picks. And I thought heading into the draft, you know what? That's a lot of draft picks. Not all of these guys are going to be on the roster. We're probably going to trade some of these picks to move up at some point. Nope, I was completely mistaken. Doug Marrone and David Caldwell last year, former head coach and GM for the Jacksonville Jaguars, took 12 guys in last year's draft. This is a huge year for the Jags draft, not just to only get it right for this year and to see what we have in these guys, but moving forward in the future. I think the Jags, at least in the division, have the brightest future, with the Houston Texans being a dumpster fire, the Colts not knowing exactly what they're going to do with their roster in the future now that they've got Carson Wentz, and a team that's honestly ready to win now. And then with the Tennessee Titans, of course, you've got Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, but these guys lost a lot of guys in free agency. Even though Mike Vrabel is a very good coach, he could probably sustain some level of success throughout a couple of years in the NFL, but I think the Jags, at least in the division, have the brightest future. The Jags moving forward after this year should not and probably will not have this level of draft capital in the future anymore, because the Jags will obviously be a better, more improved team, but also teams that have 12 draft picks as we did last year, teams that have 10 draft picks as we do this year, are not good teams. Those are teams that are looking to rebuild and build through the draft. Also a team like the New York Jets, who have the number 2 overall pick. The Jags do not plan on having 8, 9, 10 picks moving forward in the future. So this is the year to really build, especially because we have a new culture coming into the city. All right, let's get started into the first round. Of course, number 1 overall pick is going to be Trevor Lawrence, the presumptive number 1 overall pick coming out of the University of Clemson with Dabo Swinney. This guy's been the number 1 overall pick since his days at Clemson, especially after he beat Nick Saban, and he's been to the college football championship game twice, even though he was bounced out last year in the college football playoffs by Justin Fields, another top quarterback in this draft class. Trevor Lawrence is going to be the number 1 overall pick. All of us Jag fans are very excited to see. Now, moving on to the 25th overall pick, the other first-round pick that the Jacksonville Jaguars have. This pick is very crucial because the Jags could go in so many different directions, and there's honestly not a wrong answer. You could go offensive lineman to protect Trevor Lawrence. You could go defensive line where we need another elite pass rusher alongside K'Lavon Chaisson and Josh Allen. You could go secondary. But at 25, if you ask me, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars should take Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of the University of Florida. Speedster wide receiver who has a lot of promise, especially in the open field. Urban Meyer has preached speed on all 3 phases of the game, special teams, offense, and defense, and Kadarius Toney is exactly what the Jacksonville Jaguars need. You could talk about, well, they've already got a solid wide receiver room with a guy like Marvin Jones Jr., DJ Chark, and Laviska Shenault. Colin Johnson, I liked a lot of promise from him last year, but this Jacksonville Jaguars team needs another playmaker on the outside alongside those other guys in the receiver room, and I think Kadarius Toney would be a perfect fit. Now moving on to the second round at pick number 33 overall, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Mooring, TCU safety, and I think that this would be an amazing pick personally, because Trayvon Mooring was projected to go number 25 in a lot of mock drafts. I could see him slip into number 33, which is why I have him going there, because I don't think Kadarius Toney lasts till number 33, which is why I snatch him up there. Trayvon Mooring is a play ready to build now safety in the NFL, and I think he's going to be coming in ready to compete alongside with guys like Gerard Wilson, Daniel Thomas, and Josh Jones in the safety room, even though Trayvon Moring would most likely be a day one starter coming into this team. Quick side note, I want to say the most underrated player in this entire draft that I have said consistently time and time out is Richie Grant. If Richie Grant falls any lower than 33 and the Jacksonville Jaguars had not taken a safety, I would take him at 45. I just want to put that out there. Richie Grant is a phenomenal prospect who is slept on continuously, I see in mock drafts. Now moving on to number 45, I got tight end Pat Freiermuth out of Penn State University, the second best tight end prospect in the NFL draft, alongside Kyle Pitts, who is easily going to be a top 10 pick. So Pat Freiermuth, you need a guy who's a good run blocking tight end who the Jags did not address in free agency. Pat can also be a guy who catches passes, and the Jags need that on the tight end spot. You see how valuable the tight end position is, even with guys across the NFL like Travis Kelce, George Kittle, or even to a lesser degree like a Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst. You get the point. Darren Waller. Tight ends are very important, and especially for a young quarterback like a Trevor Lawrence coming in here, you need all the help that you can get to help this guy out. Now moving on to the third round, former Clemson left tackle and Trevor Lawrence's teammate at Clemson University. Give me left tackle Jackson Carman. This guy I think is going to come in and be a solid contributor if he gets some minutes. You can always project injuries on the offensive line no matter what team you are in the NFL. So I think a guy like Jackson Carman can come in and develop even if he's not an immediate starter, because you've got a guy in Cam Robinson who the Jags franchise tag. You can get a guy like Jackson in, get him in, develop him. If injuries happen, plug him in, and I think this is going to be a great fit because Trevor Lawrence is used to playing with him on his blind side. I like this pick a lot. Moving on to the fourth round at pick 106, I got the Jags taking Trey Sermon, running back out of Ohio State University, outside of James Robinson, who was an undrafted free agent last year, who had an amazing, phenomenal rookie year as a pass catcher, as a downhill running back for this Jacksonville Jaguars team. The Jags need another element in that back. You see great running back duos across the NFL that are absolutely elite with guys like Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones. You see guys like Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram at one point. You see Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt over in Cleveland. The Jacksonville Jaguars need another running back alongside a James Robinson, who will be running back number one, because Raquel Armstead and Azigbu are just not going to cut it in terms of your second down running back. Yeah, they got Carlos Hyde in free agency, but we saw how that went around first time around in Jacksonville, even though he did have a 1,000-yard season with the Houston Texans the following year. I think Trey Sermon would be a great value pick if we can get him in the fourth round. Our other pick in the fourth round at pick 131 overall, give me Marvin Wilson, interior defensive lineman out of Florida State University, a guy I've seen a decent amount of just because of local play here in Florida State University. But I think Marvin Wilson comes in as a solid rotational piece as well, with guys like Taven Bryan coming up on the last year of his rookie contract. You don't know what you've still got in him, even though he's been one of the biggest busts in Jacksonville Jaguars franchise history, if you ask me. You've got a solid piece in Malcolm Brown, who we traded for from the New Orleans Saints. You've got a guy in Roy Robert Harrison who's going to come in and be another solid rotational piece. Devon Hamilton had a promising rookie year. I like what I saw from him, but I think in the NFL, you need as many defensive linemen as you can. Get these guys fresh, get some more legs in there, and I think a guy like Marvin Wilson could come in and show some promise. With our first pick in the fifth round, give me Shaun Wade, former Jacksonville high school student at Trinity Baptist Academy. Here, he played at Ohio State University. Have long been searching for a nickel cornerback like a guy like Aaron Colvin back in the Saxonville days when they had AJ Boye and Jalen Ramsey at the time. Aaron Colvin was a huge underrated piece to that Saxonville defense, and I think a guy like Shaun Wade could come in and be a huge contributor. Maybe not immediately, but I think if he gets the opportunity, I like this guy's size and variables and what he did at Ohio State University. Yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars did re-sign Trey Herndon and Sidney Jones, who will most likely play the slot corner at least to start off the season, and I'm thankful that those guys came back. But I think Shaun Wade could come in and show some promise. The Jacksonville Jaguars last year in the fourth round drafted Josiah Scott, cornerback out of Michigan State University, who I actually thought would be the replacement at the nickel corner position, but he didn't really get a lot of time to showcase his talents. So let's see what the Jacksonville Jaguars can do with that pick with Shaun Wade. With our last pick in the fifth round, give me Patrick Johnson, edge rusher out of Tulane University. This guy, honestly, right now does not have the speed and athleticism that really wows you on tape when you watch this guy play, but I think he's got the raw ability from his size and what he brings to the table on the defensive end. And as I stated earlier, you need guys on the defensive line who are constantly going to get rotated to keep these guys fresh, alongside Josh Allen and Caleb Von Chase on our 2 edge rushers at the moment. Even though the Jags will be moving to the 3-4 defense, I think that this fits a guy like a Patrick Johnson very much out of Tulane. And with our last pick, give me Stuart Reese, interior offensive lineman out of the University of Florida. Even though I didn't pay too much attention to what Stuart Reese was doing, at least you have another solid piece in the interior offensive lineman that you can develop. With this Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line being expensive and getting up there in age with guys like Andrew Norwell, you've got Cam Robinson on a franchise tag, you've got Brandon Linder on an expensive deal, AJ Cann there. Jawan Taylor's the only guy on the offensive line with a rookie deal, so you're going to want to continue drafting and developing guys. As I said earlier, when I had Jackson Carman, left tackle out of Clemson, coming to Jacksonville, now I've got Stuart Reese, and now you got Ben Barch, former offensive lineman who was a rookie last year, drafted in the 4th round out of St. John's. I think the Jags need to continue to develop and build these guys. Now, this mock draft is not me saying what I think Trent Baalke and Urban Meyer will do. This is what I'm saying if I was the Jacksonville Jaguars GM, if I was Trent Baalke, and these guys fell to me where I think they could realistically, this is who I would take. I would most certainly do not pass up on Kadarius Toney at 25 if he is there. As I said, this is a very important and crucial draft, not for just this year, but for the future of this team. Now, before I end this video, I do want to say April 28th, the NFL draft, I will be at TIAA Bank Field in downtown Jacksonville to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence #1 overall. I will be making a video out of that. I'll be interviewing fans, and I'll also be giving my fan perspective on the entire night. I'm going to make a cool little vlog out of it, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. As I said, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe down below if you guys haven't already, and make sure you guys turn those notifications on for more Jags content, and I post NBA content here as well on YouTube and on TikTok, so I will leave the links to those in the description down below as well. Let me know, what did you guys think about my 7-round mock draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars? I love what I did, obviously, because I put the list together, but let me know what you guys would do. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much, and I'm out, boys. Peace.